like, but Black Dynamite.
I sell drugs in the community. Hi, I'm Danielle.
And I'm Dell.
And this is the Black Catch-Up, where we're catching up on iconic black media we missed out on in our more conservative religious childhood.
So today we watched Black Dynamite.
Yes, we did. So I'm going to start off reading the IMDb, but I'm also going to read a little something from the Wikipedia just so there's a little more context. I feel it's needed this time.
Okay.
Black Dynamite is the greatest African-American action star of the 1970s. When his only brother is killed by the man, it's up to him to find justice. And on Wikipedia, it's just important to know that this film is a parody of and homage to the blaxploitation genre in its era. So, It's a parody film, essentially.
Yeah.
So, thoughts?
Yeah, I guess we usually start off with things we like.
Yes.
I liked Black Dynamite as a character.
Yeah.
I thought just like kind of like the legend he portrayed, just kind of be like this cool, smooth pimp who just kind of like walks around like just looking cool and just kind of like kung fuing people. Like I just kind of liked that for him. So yeah, I just thought that was kind of enjoyable, kind of to see that throughout the movie.
I will say a specific scene that I liked, because I did also like Black Dynamite as a character. I think the scene where they were in the diner and they were piecing everything together was just hilarious.
Yeah.
Because they started off with, because I think he said something about melt. And he was like, wait, what was that you said? He was like, melt. Melts in your mouth. What melts in your mouth? M&M's. But not
like,
your hand.
Not in your head,
Yeah, and it's just this whole bunch of, like, leaps in logic to get to the actual, like, bad guy.
Yeah.
But it was just so funny because it's like, it was just funny.
I thought, like, I put down the dialogue in the whole movie. I thought the dialogue throughout was just kind of ridiculous. Like, I thought characters would do, like, this thing where, like, they look into the camera and it's almost like they're breaking the fourth wall.
Yeah.
But they just say something kind of ridiculous.
Yeah.
Like that one scene where he bursts in, he's like, yeah, I just came to tell y'all, like, you can't be selling drugs anymore in my community. He's like, but wait, Black Dynamite, I sell drugs in the community.
Yeah, that was so funny.
But yeah, no, I thought there were like a lot of like little lines like that. It's almost like if you're not paying attention, you kind of miss them. But when you catch them, it's like, did he really just say that?
The one I liked was when he takes the girl to the donut shop, and she's like, I'll have some hot sauce for my donut, and you think you hear that, but then you're like, what? But then later on in that same scene, the owner's like, I should leave anyway. Chilean donuts ain't working for me, no how. And then you're like,
might not be the best combo.
Yeah, and it's like, oh, I guess she did say hot sauce for her donut.
Yeah.
Like, so that was funny.
Well, okay. The next thing I had, I just like the fights. Like, I thought the choreography was just like fun. It wasn't like the most, like, they weren't like the most intense fights, or, like the most like, like back and forth. But like most people went down with like one hit. But I just kind of like the choreography and like his screaming as well. Like, I just thought it was like funny,
Yeah. I said the fights too, because it's that classic kind of in this genre thing where you like, it's just very dramatic and like showboaty is what I wrote, because he like still has the time to like pause and pose while he's like still kicking ass.
It's almost like there was a pose after pretty much every move or every like 2 or 3 moves.
I thought that was funny.
Oh, okay. Do you have anything else?
Nope. That is everything Oh, the only other scene I have specifically was when Black Dynamite was at the orphanage. That was just hilarious.
Oh, when he shook the kid. I heard that down too.
We tried that already. It didn't work.
And that's another one that's like throwaway lies that you don't realize it, but like watching the scene, it's like, she's like, oh, you tried shaking the kid? Is that what you were saying?
And then he had this one line where it's like, the worst thing about getting orphan syndrome is that orphans have no parents. And it's like, that's another one of those lines where it's like, what?
I thought the whole thing was funny because like she comes initially, he's like, the smack got to the orphanage, and he doesn't say anything. Then like a few scenes later, they like go to the orphanage, like, what? An orphanage? And he acts like so surprised. And I'm like, didn't she just tell you there was a kid at the
talk
orphanage?
About it?
Then he sees the kid, he gets really angry, he like shakes the kid. Like like there was just a lot of like scenes like that,
It was really funny.
Okay, so I guess
things
dislikes, things we didn't like. Yeah, for me, the only like real problem I had was actually I had a couple, I guess.
Okay.
They weren't like major. One of them was like it just didn't seem like a whole movie together. Like it almost just felt like I was watching like a bunch of short clips.
Yeah.
Like they kind of came up with this character of Black Dynamite, came up with clips to put him in that would be funny, made those clips and they were funny. but then they just like strung them all together for a movie. So that's kind of like the vibe I got.
Speaking of that, I looked this up on Wikipedia. The movie had a trailer and funding before the script was even written. So that could be kind of what you're seeing that pieciness.
Maybe, yeah.
Because they had the trailer and like they of course have like the funny scenes in the trailer, but they don't have a script yet. So it's almost like they're just working around
like
those
they
funny
had like
scenes.
the scenes first and then tried to do a script
rather
than like
with like the thinnest of like plots just wrapped around it.
Yeah.
Basically.
Okay.
So it's funny that you say that.
I definitely noticed that.
Yeah. We normally don't bring up our research now, but that just made me think of that. I think the thing that this film just had a pretty unfavorable portrayal of Asian people.
It did, yeah.
Which wasn't cool.
No, it really
like,
did.
especially in the story where he was talking about his time in Vietnam, and he was talking about this Chinese kid, and I was like,
yeah.
You were in Vietnam.
Yeah.
You wouldn't be Chinese. Like, that doesn't make sense.
Oh,
It could have been one of those throwaway lines, but also it was like...
Yeah. I think it's one of, like, this is a 2000s movie. Like,
It was 2009.
Yeah, no, still, but...
I guess. That's still 2000.
These older movies, like, they just kind of are casually racist, like, in this kind of way.
Yeah.
You know, the other thing I had, which I guess honestly wasn't too much of a problem, because I thought it was funny for the most part, but the acting was, like, very 50-50. Like, there were times it seemed like actors were in, like, whole separate movies. Like, one scene they'd just be very, like, dull and just kind of, like, reciting the lines, then other scenes they'd be super animated. Kind of out of nowhere, so, like, the acting was very 50-50, but again, like, because of the genre of this movie and, like, what this movie was, like, I thought it was kind of funny. Like, seeing actors just kind of, like, randomly flip out at random things that you wouldn't
Especially,
really
there was one scene with Black Dynamite when he just, like, flipped out on this random girl. He was, like, just talking in, like, weird metaphors, I want to say.
Wait, which one was this?
It was when he was, like, saying goodbye to the orphan leader or whatever. And he was in the house, and then this one girl, like, peeks out from the corner. And he goes on this whole, like, minute rant at her. And she, like, walks her car, and he's, like kind of shakes himself off.
I remember
like,
that,
okay,
I remember that. He just started chilling. He's like, I know that's you. Like, why can't you tell? Yeah, no, I know exactly what you're talking about. Yeah.
So,
it's like little stuff like that I thought was kind of funny.
Yeah.
But,
the only other thing I said, I thought this movie had kind of a slow start to me.
It did.
It kind of took a bit to, like, amp up and get to the fun parody place.
Yeah.
And I get that things have to set up, but it just kind of, like, to me, it took a little bit of a time to set up.
No, it did. Like, again, like, I still think the beginning was funny, but, like, the jokes were a lot, like, they came a lot slower, you know, like, there was a lot more time in between them, you know, like, the action scenes weren't as, like, drawn out, like, it definitely took time to get up to speed.
But when you think about it, the beginning compared to the end, it's, like, the beginning was so slow, and, like, almost it seemed like there were no jokes, but then you would, like, get to the middle, and they kind of, like, amp up, and it's like, oh, this is funny.
It almost felt, it felt like it really sped up toward the end. Like,
I
thought the movie was going to be over, and then they're like, all right, let's go to Kung Fu Island. I was like, I thought this movie was 90 minutes. Like, we have time for this? But then they kind of, like, rushed through the rest of it.
They rushed to Kung Fu Island, then they, like, really went to the White House, and they rushed through that,
like, those last, like, couple scenes, they, like, rushed through it, but, again, like, they still got their funny, like, quips off, so, like, I'm not complaining too much.
Okay.
All right, the moment we've been waiting for.
Our ratings on this movie.
You want to go first?
Sure. I gave this movie a 2 out of 5. And that's not 2 out of 5. 2.5 out of 5.
Okay.
And I think the reason I gave it was because it's a parody movie, and I have zero frame of reference for what they're parodying. So it kind of took some of the enjoyment out of it, and it also started kind of slow. So it started slow. I don't know what they're parodying. Like, granted, I get some of their references because some of these things are referenced in more recent stuff that I know about. But, like, still, I didn't get all the references, and it was, like... And I think in the beginning it probably would have been good to know what they were parodying because it was so slow, and that's when the world building starts. So I think it would have been better to know what it was about, I guess. So that's why my score's so low. I did enjoy a lot of it, but I feel as though I kind of did enjoy it as much as I could have.
Okay. Yeah, I actually like this one. I gave this one a 3. Like, I just thought it was really funny, and I thought it was like a film for me, almost. Like, it was just like characters saying things you normally wouldn't say, I guess.
Like when people do
and
that.
I just really liked that. I thought that kind of kept the film feeling, like, very light. Again, like, I'm all for 90-minute films. If there's one thing you know about me, I do not like long films. Like,
as you know by now.
90 minutes, this is what I need. So, and, like, I just thought it was funny, like, the characters just, like they, like, looked like they were kind of having fun on screen, you know?
They did.
And yeah, it was enjoyable. Like this is also like a movie I'd want to watch again. You know, like again, like the beginning was slow, but I think again, like I think there's a lot of like things they just say that kind of catch you off guard. But I wasn't prepared for that in the beginning,
Yeah.
so I think now that I've like seen what kind of movie this is, I kind of want to watch that beginning part again.
That makes sense.
And see if I kind of catch some more of those things. But yeah, I actually like kind of really like this one.
Nice.
Yeah, gave it a 3. Enjoyed it a lot.
Okay. Final question: do you wish you saw this movie earlier?
Yeah. I guess for me it's like a no, not really. It's one of those things like I'm just kind of comfortable with where I saw it now. Like had I seen it earlier, I probably would have been okay. Like I don't think there would have been like a great change in my opinion if I saw it earlier or later. So yeah, I guess I'm just comfortable seeing it now. You know.
Nice. I also say no, and here's the thing: I almost kind of wish I saw this movie later, just so I can get like more references,
more context.
Because I feel as though I would bump up my rating if I knew more of the references.
Yeah.
And it's not even like because we've done Scary Movie 1 and 2 by this point. And those are parody movies, and I'm not the biggest scary movie aficionado, but I know the genre much better than this one. So I think I would want to have had more context in that.
Yeah.
So if I saw it later, I would be fine. Now I'm okay too, but I feel as though this is a movie that I actually could have seen later.
All right. So that was Black Dynamite.
Yes, it was.
Yeah, YouTube housekeeping. Like, comment, subscribe.
Ring the bell for notifications. If you have any movie suggestions, you can leave them in the comment below, or you can tweet at us. All of our socials will be linked down below. We do movie reviews on Tuesdays and Fridays, and on Sundays we do TV and music. And we'll see you next time to catch up. Bye.
You start sentences, don't even know where they're headed. Just kind of hope they find their way, you know?
And just hope that once you get there, you're like, oh, that did make sense.
Kind of makes it clear. Like someone could take like 3 or 4 words out there that make sense, you know? Like, you don't have to understand the whole thing.
Hope you understand the spirit of what I was saying.
Yeah.